And now as we head into overnight, we are going to watch and see if the trend day that we saw is going to result in any kind of downside follow through. And with the Russell having taken out the support at 39, albeit not by much, but still it took that support out. And if the Russell continues selling off, it still has major support in that, roughly 1709 to like 1717 or so. That's still a big area of support for the Russell. It's the bottom of a large balance area, right? So let me just pull up the chart for the Russell so I can show you. So this is the daily chart for the Russell, and you can see that the Russell is now coming down into this massive balance area low, right? And the expectation is for responsive buyers to step in anywhere within this area. Like it's a daily chart, and it is a bigger picture area of support. So really, anywhere from this swing low right over here, so 1713, this swing low 1710. We have these swing lows over here at 1739.7, 44. That's what this area was based off. It was based off these lows, and then the entire larger balance is going to look at the swing lows here around 1709, 1710. So, we're pushing into some major support. And by default, our expectation is going to be for buyers to be active. Now, if they're not active and the market just ends up slicing through, I mean, that would be very surprising. But if it does, then, maybe we're just dealing with a complete bear market now. But this is a significant inflection point in the Russell, major inflection point. And if buyers are going to have any shot at stabilizing this market, not even rallying back up, but just stabilizing this market, this is where they need to defend. And that's why I think even if we are going to eventually break lower, the likelihood of the market is breaking through is fairly low, and it would require like a market crash type situation to like take this area out clean without any kind of consolidation or short-term bounces. It would have to be like a crash type scenario or flash crash or something. I mean, I think if you take out 1709, 1710, I mean that's problematic for the markets in general. So I think that this area will likely be defended, and typically when you're dealing with bigger picture support, it's not that it can't be taken out, but it just takes a lot more effort to take it out. Usually it takes multiple tests. If you make a marginal new low, like that's not a big deal, but you know, breaking the 1700 area on the Russell would just be very surprising to me. So our expectation is going to be for responsive buyers to step in the Russell, and that can then, of course, open the door for buyers stepping in the S&P as well. And if the Russell has to go a bit lower to find responsive buyers, then maybe ES has to go into 42, 39.5 or 25 to 34. And then we have strong support at 42.03.5 to 13.5. So buyers can be active at any of these areas of support. And if we time the trade with the Russell, then of course that might give us some extra edge and increase the probabilities. Today was a trend day. Tomorrow does not have to be. We essentially saw long liquidation outside of this multi-day range. And now that that liquidation is out of the way, it's going to take much more effort for the market to continue to head down. So just because today was a trend day doesn't mean tomorrow also has to be a trend day. So as we go into tomorrow, especially at these lower prices, I think we need to be careful at the very minimum on initiating new shorts down here. And the only time it may make sense to initiate shorts at these lower prices is if it's just blatantly obvious that we're dealing with yet another trend morning, at least, if not a trend day, right? So tomorrow, I think the situation is likely going to be different, and we don't want to get overly aggressive on the short side at these lower zones where there is a pretty decent probability for larger time frame buyers to step in. And if we do get a move down into some of these zones, where could the market pop into, even on the day time frame? Well, I think we could probably bounce back into quite easily the 77 area, and even a move back into, the 4290 to 4300 wouldn't really be a stretch by any means. So for the market to go down into 25 to 34, bounce back to 4300, I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. We can quite easily still do that. So that's the outlook as we head into tomorrow. Let me see if there are any questions, and then we will wrap up.